Chapter 3 Waste of Life. Frantically sprinting down the hardly occupied sidewalk, Frails brushes against several passing bystanders as a cry of police sirens fill the air. Hearing the roar of engines from behind, the blonde fox turns about, finding a trio of dark-tinted SUVs hastily passing by. Slowing down to a walking pace, he places a hand over his chest, whispering under his breath, "They're not after me. They're not after me." Turning his head, he watches as the last of the dark-tinted vehicles abruptly break from formation, turning towards the blonde fox. Continuing his steady pace, Frails attempts to remain calm as the SUV draws near. Pulling aside the walking fox, the van halts, as three near-identical men in dark and white suits pour from the side door. "Why are you running, buddy?" the center of the three men ask. Hesitating to answer, Frails begins to stutter. I'm just getting more exercise." Stepping closer, he aggressively inquires, "You won't mind if we have a look in that backpack, will you?" Intimidated by the man before him, Frails takes several steps back before taking off in full sprint. Pulling a handgun from their waist belt, the agents open fire upon the fleeing suspect. Hearing the cracking sound of gunfire, Frails ducks his head as he feels the impact of small projectiles striking onto his backpack. Spiking with anxiety, Frails desperately rushes into an adjacent alley. Just before reaching his assumed cover behind the brick corner, the fox succumbs to a puncture wound in his ankle. Falling to the concrete, he desperately claws at the trash-littered ground in an attempt to crawl further into the narrow passage. Hearing their footsteps slowly grow louder, Frails turns his head, finding the agents within arm's reach. Accepting the futility and evasion, the blonde fox ceases his attempt to flee. Looming over their wounded prey, the agents menacingly gaze onto their captured suspect. Retrieving the backpack from the bleeding fox, one of the men inspects its contents, while the other two hold him to the ground. Pulling out package after package of dark paper-wrapped substances from the confiscated pack, the agents grow dissatisfied until he uncovers a tablet amidst the wrapped contraband. Intrigued with his discovery, he turns to his colleague, announcing, "I think our fox friend here might actually have what we're looking for." Nearing the restrained Frails, he inquires, "You know who we're looking for?" The blonde fox silently nods his head from side to side. Smiling in mild irritation, the agent passes the tablet over to one of his associates before returning his full attention to the bound suspect. "The bird," the agent specifies. I don't know," Frails hesitantly answers. "Well?" the man persists. Shaking his head with fear, the fox struggles to elaborate. He was at our place last night, but I don't know." Handing the tablet back to the leading agent, his colleague informs, "There's nothing here." Disappointed at the futility of the interrogation, coupled with the empty search of the mobile device, the agent stands himself up and wanders shortly away from the body. Gathering his thoughts, the man wipes his forehead in frustration. Turning back to the body, he casually withdraws his firearm onto the still restrained suspect. Aiming just above the fox's snout, the agent releases a projectile onto him, puncturing through his furred scalp. Holstering his weapon, he softly complains, "The animal is too dumb to help, but too smart to let live." Kicking a discarded can towards the sunlit end of the alley, he continues to mutter, "What a waste." Nearing the parked vehicle, he begins to hear chatter erupt from inside. Entering the vehicle, he attempts to decipher the traffic of communications, only to find himself lost with the present circumstance. Reaching onto the front section of the automobile, he taps the shoulder of the driver, asking, "What the hell is going on?" Attentive, tilting his head to his superior, the man replies, "We need to get moving." Tilting his head in confusion, the agent inquires, "What's going on?" Answering him, the driver elaborates, "Hierarchy just ordered us to drop whatever we're doing and double time it to the capital." Leaning back into his seat, the agent widens his eyes as he wonders what circumstance would be crucial enough to interrupt his current investigations. Stay tuned for Chapter 4.